So as Sean said, my name is Wesley Lovett. I'm the Senior Lending Manager for Charity Bank. I cover the south of England. I'm also joined by my colleague Kirsty. Kirsty has recently joined Charity Bank. I think around the first week of January you started with us, didn't you, Kirsty? So you're very new, but very keen to sort of get out and speak to as many people as possible. And Kirsty covers the Midlands area. So between myself and Kirsty, we should have the area pretty much well covered for everybody on the call. Telling you a little bit about Charity Bank, who we are and what we do. So again, I'd just like to say thank you again for joining a virtual event that's talking about banking and finance and being delivered by a banker. It's probably not the most interesting of events you could attend, so I really do appreciate you coming along and attending the event, come and listen to me talk. So going into a little bit about Charity Bank, who we are and what we do. So Charity Bank, we are a bank. We provide savings accounts and we provide loans. We're a little bit different from any other bank in the fact that we provide savings accounts and loans to charities and not-for-profits, and basically anybody who's looking to have a positive social impact on the environment that they operate in. That's our area that we want to focus on. So we're only interested in supporting basically people who are looking to make the world a little bit of a better place. And I know that sounds a little bit cheesy, but we genuinely, that's what we're all about. We're genuinely there to support people who are looking to do good things. Since we sort of opened our doors, so Charity Bank's been going for around 23 years now, maybe 24 years this year. Since that time, we've managed to lend over £500 million, or over £500 million to just over 1,000 different organisations. And Charity Bank is 100% owned by charities and other social purpose investors. So we're owned by the social sector for the social sector. I guess probably the question to ask here is why is that important? Why does that make a difference? For me, that makes a massive difference because unlike other banks, we're not driven by this need to make profit. We're not driven by the need to pay our shareholders a dividend. The thing that drives us at Charity Bank is basically supporting organisations who are doing good things. Our shareholders just want us to go out there and support social impact. So we're looking for projects that have a real strong social impact and who projects that are making a real difference in the communities of which they're operating in. So we're a bank, but we're a slightly different bank, and I think we're a pretty good bank, if I'm honest. We're driven by this need to deliver that social impact, and I think that makes us very different from other banks out there. I feel like I've said the word bank quite a lot there, so I'm going to try not to say it for another couple of minutes. So at Charity, this is going to be more difficult than I thought. At Charity Bank, we operate slightly differently again to other banks in the fact that we have regional managers that are located in the areas that they operate in. So when you speak to somebody about a loan or a project that you're looking to support, you won't speak to somebody in a call centre. You'll speak to somebody who's on your patch. And the main benefit of that is that our regional managers, they've been working in that area for quite some time. They've got knowledge of what's going on locally, so they understand the local issues. They probably may have heard of your organisation or come across you in the past. Because, like I said, they're on patch and they're looking at they work and operate in the area that they cover. We also, with our regional managers being based locally, we will have a face-to-face appointment with you as well. So when you pick up the phone to speak to one of our managers, it will be an initial conversation, and then it will be, right, let's come out and see you, let's sit down with you, let's understand what's going on with your organisation and see how we can come in and try and help support you from there. We support a number of organisations doing quite a lot of different things, so I won't read these out, but we do a lot around social housing. So social housing has a really big social impact for us, and that's a big area, a big focus for us. We support health and social care, the arts, community projects, education, the environment. So we're we'll pretty much support most things that are happening as long as there's that social impact there. Sports organisations, that's something we've been doing a lot more of quite recently. And like I said, we're really there to support your mission. So you tell us what it is that you're doing, and we'll come in and try and sit and fit in and support you doing that. So again, what makes Charity Bank different? So we're a committed partner. So we're very much relationship based. So we're not just there just to do a transaction and then disappear and not speak to you for another 10, 15 years. Our relationship based approach means that we're there with you for the long term. So you might have a project initially when you're talking to us, and we'll help you with that project and getting that delivered. But it's an ongoing thing. There might be a project number 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down the road, and we'd encourage you to speak and talk to us and when they come up, and we'll be having regular contact with you along the way as well. So like I said, we're not just there to deliver a loan facility, to deliver a savings account. We're there for the ongoing long-term relationship. We're a social sector specialist as well, so we understand what makes you guys tick. So we understand that you're not all about the bottom line. It's a lot more complex than that. There's a lot more moving parts. So we understand that obviously from one year to the next, you might not have the focus on the surplus like most commercial organisations do. But like I said, we really understand what it is that you're about. We understand what makes you tick. And this is our sort of day in, day out. This is our bread and butter. So we're used to looking at organisations, charities, not-for-profits, etc. We like to think we're patient and supportive. I think there's an old saying, isn't there, around banks give you the umbrella when you don't need it and take it away when it's raining. I can honestly say Charity Bank isn't like that. With us lending money to organisations, most of the times things work out, but sometimes stuff gets a little bit more complicated. Things change, things get difficult, and Charity Bank are there when things are going good, but also when things are going bad as well. So we're not just going to pull the rug from under you when you start to have issues. We're there to support, and we're there to help. So like I said, the old umbrella, taking it away when it's red, we won't be doing that. Also as well, we have loans that are tailored to you and your organisation. So this goes back to probably something I said earlier on about the fact that we have relationship managers based on patch. They come out and see you and understand what it is that you're looking to do. Then they'll take that away, and then they'll build a product that's suitable for you. So they'll think about what your long-term needs are and provide you a facility that fits in with the long-term needs of your organisation. We don't just give you an off-the-shelf sort of type product, and it's not a one-size-fits-all. We spend that time with you, understanding how you operate, understanding your long-term goals, and we'll try and provide a facility that ticks the boxes for you, as well as the bank. So why use loan finance? Again, I won't sort of read through all of these different points. Oh, sorry, but if you're looking to buy a building, if you're looking to sort of retrofit or refurbish a building, Charity Bank come in and help and support with that. Refinancing other debt, other borrowing. I've found recently we're doing a lot of this, and I think it's because a lot of other banks are changing their propositions and sort of changing their criteria for what they're looking to support. So quite recently, I've been refinancing facilities that charities and not-for-profits have with other banks because they feel they haven't got the ongoing support there anymore. Charity Bank have been bringing them across to us and being able to provide the right product for organisations, really. So if there's a working capital need, we can come in and sort of try and help and support in that respect. Match funding or grants or donations, we can look to do that as well. This is the really boring bit, so I will sort of go through this quite quickly. If anybody's got any more questions on this, sort of feel free to jump in at the end. For our loan terms, so we offer loans starting from £100,000 up to £10 million. Like I said, we have bespoke debt structures so that it's not a one size fits all. We try to match the loan with your organisation and what it is that you're looking to do. Repayment terms can be up to 30 years, depending upon the type of security that we're being offered. We do provide development finance as well. So this is something that we're actually pretty good at. Not that we're bad at anything else, but this is something where we kind of stand out as somebody who are well versed in delivering this type of product. So again, because we've got the relationship based approach, we can sit down with customers quite early and understand what they're looking for in regards to development finance, and tailor and structure it for what they need. There's no early repayment penalty on our loans. So basically, if you get a donation or if you get a bit of a windfall in your organisation and you think, right, we're going to use this money to repay our debt, we don't want to be sort of adding early repayment charges unnecessarily to that. The only caveat with that being is that if you are on a fixed rate, there'll be a cost for breaking the fixed rate. And if you are refinancing with another lender, there'll be an early repayment charge within the first 5 years. But if it's just funds that are coming into the charity or not for profit or your organisation, then we don't want to unnecessarily put barriers in the way of you repaying us. So yeah, no early repayment charges and no lump sum reduction fees. So this is probably just to give you an idea of some of the things that we will ask you for. So we do look for really well developed sort of business plans. So if you're looking to, if you've got a project, give us the research behind it, give us your understanding of how you think it's going to work, and then obviously provide us with cash flow forecasts and projections. We want to see evidence of demand as well. So tell us what the problem is that you're looking to fix, and show us that it needs to be fixed. We'll also look at your historic financial accounts and your management accounts, just to see what's happened in the past, what's happening in the current financial year. We'll also look for evidence of affordability, whether that be from your management accounts, your historic accounts, or even your forecasts and your projections. We need to evidence that you can afford to meet the loan repayments. Good governance is always something that we look at. So tell us who the trustees are, who the board of directors are, and then also we'll take a look at the senior leadership team as well. We'll take a look at the security. So we'll assess the security and look to make sure that that is suitable security for the bank to undertake. We'll look at any internal risk assessment that is happening. Oh, sorry, excuse me. But lastly, and most importantly as well, we'll really dig down into the social impact, and we'll ask to see evidence of what the social impact is going to be, and ask you to explain in detail what is this project going to achieve, what are you going to be doing, and tell us about the impact, and really focus on that and tell us the story about what's going to be happening as a result of your project. Again, the great thing about Charity Bank is that we can react to things that we see out in the community and out in the areas that we're operating in, and we can develop programs and funds to try and tackle that. So we did launch a dedicated lending program to finance minority-led organisations who are looking to deliver social impact. We also have our Reach Fund as well, where we can provide sort of an element of grant funding to get sort of projects sort of to the point where they're suitable for lending. So we really have that focus to understand what's going on in our communities, and then sort of react to it and try to make things a little bit better, try to solve issues and solve problems as and where we see them. I can sit here and tell you how great we are, but I think it's always worth sort of putting a few customer testimonies in here. So this isn't what we say about ourselves, this is what our customers have said about us in the past. And I think hopefully that echoes probably what I've said throughout the presentation. This sort of feedback focuses on the fact that we're a little bit different to sort of other banks who are more commercially focused. And then obviously there's a second sort of customer testimony there that I'll let you have a quick read through. This is about Danny. I am not Danny. I should find one of these that refer to me specifically, but Danny is a member of our sort of lending team as well. And this just speaks to one of the what he done for the Pathfinder dogs when he was helping them out. I will have my contact details on there on the last screen for you. As I said, Kirsty, my colleague, is on the phone with me, on the call with me. Sorry, Kirsty, I don't know whether you want to put your contact details in the chat function as well, just to let everybody know who you are and how to get hold of you. Sorry, the cough's coming out of nowhere. But that's pretty much me. That's the sort of whistle-stop tour of Charity Bank, who we are and how we operate. I've sort of run through it quite quickly there, and I'm hoping that we can have a discussion afterwards. And if there's any questions, feel free to fire them at me, or if there's any situations that you want to talk about specifically, feel free to sort of open that up and we can have a chat through afterwards. So yeah, that's me. That's Wesley Lovett at Charity Bank, and obviously joined by my colleague Kirsty as well, who will send the contact details through in a second.
Wesley, thanks very much. If you could take down the screen share, that would be great. Thank you.
It's really difficult, these virtual events, aren't they? So I've got nobody to look at when I'm doing it. It's almost just looking at our presentation. So I hope that was okay for everybody. I hope I didn't just ramble on and sort of go through things too briefly. So yeah.
Thank you. So and if folks want to put their cameras back on, then and rejoin the room, that'll be most welcome as well. And Wesley, I've a question just to kick things off with you. And that's just about the savings aspect, because I know that lots of charities, not-for-profit, social enterprises, where they do, will have money that they keep in the bank, and they're building their reserves and that type of thing, and are always thinking about, or should be thinking about, keeping their money ethically. And so just tell us something about your savings.
Yeah, of course. So like any other bank, we have sort of instant access savings, 90-day savings accounts, 1 year sort of access savings accounts. I will pop in the chat function a link to show all of our savings accounts and the current rates. Savings accounts are they're sort of pretty much they're not too complex. They're, as they say on the tin. I think the one thing I would say about the savings with Charity Bank, and Sean, you kind of touched upon this already. We only support customers with positive social impact projects, so we're only doing good things with the money that we have access to. So savings accounts are much of a muchness. The interest rates are probably very similar to what you get with other banks, so we're not going to be able to probably beat other banks in regards to the interest rates, but it is that thing of your money is going to something and support an organisation that's doing something that has a positive social impact. We don't do, and I can't think of a better way of saying this, so please forgive me, but we don't do sort of anything with these funds that would probably make you sort of tense up or worried or anything like that. We do good things. So I'm trying my best to make a relatively boring savings account sound quite exciting and interesting.
Well,
but yeah, that's
yeah. No, thank you. Those of us with a financial head, will be interested in that, and it's an option that we can remind sector colleagues about going forward as well. Thank you.
Sure, I will pop it in the chat as well. So I did promise I'll send the link to our savings accounts across. So I'll pop that in the chat for you.
Thank you. Right. So and I was thinking about about the sector and borrowing money, and particularly I was thinking for those agencies who are paying rent, then a long-term rent on a building, they may as well be paying a loan and buying the building rather than renting it. That's probably something that crosses your desk, I imagine.
And I love seeing that, and so we just refer to it as a bit of a debt for rent swap sort of thing when we're looking at putting the proposition together. But when organisations are renting and they find somewhere and it's like almost their charities forever home or they're not-for-profits forever home. It's a really great thing for us to be able to support, because we can see that you've been renting a property for so many years, and we can sort of use them rental payments to add back into our affordability calculations. But also, an organisation owning their own property, it kind of puts things back into your hands a little bit, so you're not exposed to the rental market, you're not exposed to somebody else having a kind of say over your office or your workspace. It kind of de-risks your proposition, and it puts it back with you.
So we've got some questions coming through in the chat, Wesley. So you've put some information in there, which is great. Thank you, Kirsty. And then a question from Des about some more information about the REACH funding.
Yeah, of course. So again, I'll pop this in the chat as well. So I'll pop a link to it in the chat. So the REACH Access Grant, so basically it's a grant of up to £15,000, and it allows organisations to apply for it when they're looking to get ready to basically apply for a loan. So it helps them do all that sort of pre-loan stuff that can sometimes be quite expensive and quite costly, and sort of require quite a bit of time from the organisation that's putting the application in. But Charity Bank are a delivery partner of that. So if you do have something that you're looking to do, and obviously you require a loan for it, let us know, because like I said, we can get you an element of grant funding to help get that project started. Well, get the viability of that project off the ground, and get some of these things paid for that are sometimes quite costly. Things like valuation fees and sort of like forecasts and projections that you might have to produce. They all cost money, and like I said, if there's grant funding available for that, great.
Excellent, thank you. So we don't need to take up our full hour, so and we can give people time back, which is always gratefully received. So is there any other comments? Or we're a small group, so if you just want to put your hand up and ask a question, do join the room. So James, what would you like to ask?
Hi Wesley, thanks for that. It's nice to see a human face, even if virtually. We've actually been trying to invest some savings with you guys, and we're on our third attempt. And I've just been checking back the dates and wincing at how much potential interest we've lost. We don't want to shortcut the obviously there's a rigorous process to make sure everything's legitimate, but it's come back 3 times, and we're a group of professionals. We've got a good set of trustees. I didn't know if you're if there was someone who could help guide us through the process.
Yeah, of course. So I'm happy to do that. So do you want to? So if you just sort of, I think have you got my email, James?
Yes.
So just come straight to me. Show me what you've got already. So if there's an email trail, or if you're getting sort of bounce back of information and stuff like that, just let us know. And I'll pick it up, and I'll sort of I'll get to the bottom of what's going on. We are. I was going to say we're quite traditional, but we do things. So I think our savings team are sort of like, you can get in touch with them via email or over the phone. So we're very, I don't want to say traditional, I think is the is probably what I say in our approach. So sometimes like things might fall through the cracks, but yeah, let me know, and I'll get to the bottom of it for you, James.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you. And someone just asked, will the slides be shared? And yes, they will. As well as this presentation, we'll also put the slides on the Aspire site. And if you go to the Aspire site, in fact, our colleague Des, who's on the call, he's already put the information up from the Community Foundation session last week, and all the information will arrive in due course. Right. Anything else from anybody around the rooms? Okay, I'm not seeing any hands waving. So Wesley, it just leaves me to thank you for joining us again and raising the profile and awareness of lending from Charity Bank to the sector, and on we go. So folks, do look at the Aspire website, because we do have other sessions running over the next couple of months. So do join other sessions that might be of interest.